Hi all, and welcome to the TinaCMS Sprint 107 review and retro, and the Sprint 108 forecast. First, we'll be going through the review. So for our sprint goals, we had to complete one item in the branch aware media epic and one item in the separate content repo epic. So we have done both of these. We've done some we completed a PBI on the branch aware around invalidation, and the separate content repo epic is now wired up to TinaCloud, so people are able to select it. So good to see that. Yeah. For the hours build to TinaCloud, we had we had 80 hours built to myself, Brooke, Josh, Kaha, and Matt. And we also had for TinaCMS 92 hours build to Ivan, Jack, Isaac, Chloe, and Ben. Yeah, another thing to point out is Chloe is now on the project on the TinaCMS side, so she'll be working from France. Sprint backlog. Key PBIs to note, we've done a lot of work around the multi-repo setup, so I just want to point out the docs that have been added, which Josh has down here. So you can see we have a little bit of a setup guideline on how to do this on your TinaCloud project, so you can go ahead and look at that if you want to set it up. Also, we had the social media being updated, and we had some posts about V4 that I'll hand over to Ivan to talk about.
Yeah, so we've finally made an announcement that the V4 is coming on our blog. We've also created a little something GitHub discussion about that and posted a shorter version with the link to that on our socials. So we've got some good engagement out of this. If you're watching this and you want to share your take on what's supposed to be in the V4, please do so. Got some great engagement right there.
And yeah, as you said, we've got a blog post out so you can see what we're planning for TinaCMS V4.
Yeah, I worked pretty hard on that. Go check it out.
Cool. Also, with the media management work done, this PBI here around the image upload and deletion error messages that was raised by someone on our internal team has now been resolved. This has been an outstanding issue for a couple of sprints, been raised a couple times. But yeah, now it's all working with the new media manager fixes. For the sprint burn up, we had 46 open and 49 closed. Production deployments, we had 4 deployments for TinaCloud and 1 release for TinaCMS. Application health overview, we had 500 identity API 500s decreased from 144 to 19, and content API 500s decreased from 1.5K to 1.3K. We have done a little bit of work around getting the content API 500s decreased, but not substantial enough to bring that down significantly as what we would have had liked to do. But yeah, continuing on. I'll pass it over to Kaha to take us through the metrics.
Yes, so the TinaCloud post-hog metrics. So over the last 6 months, we've seen a total amount of commits processed to be around 27,125, which is good to see. For our user onboarding, we've seen a decrease from 13% to 9%, and a slight decrease in the collaborators from 29% to 27%. Overall, for projects creations, it's remained constant over the last 7 days, and new organizations created had a slight decrease from 146 to 145. Next up is the frameworks for TinaCMS and current usage and interest. So the top three frameworks we have seen in use have been next.js at first, followed by Astro and React. And interesting enough, we have seen that the most interested framework has been Astro, represented by the blue bar graph. So that's good to see. TinaCMS post-hog daily active users. We can see over the last sprint, we've reached a high of 417 active users, which is great to see. And then overall, we've seen a steady uptrend in our daily active users. And we can see some of the low points are usually around when we have the weekends, which is understandable. Yep. So for the top unique users of TinaCMS by country, so we've seen the highest amount of users from the United States at over 1,000, and then followed by India, Germany, and the United Kingdom. It's great to see. For the most popular starter templates for usage, we've seen that it's mostly been Tina next.js starter and Tina Astro starter, and they have been very close in by the user base. So unique clones of our starter templates over the last 2 weeks. We've seen that there has been a decrease in the next.js starter template down from 53 to 21. We have seen a decrease in the Tina Barebone starter template as well from 20 to 12, as well as a decrease in the Tina self-hosted demo from 143 to 67. But we have seen a significant increase in the Tina Astro starter as well, which is more people having more interest in Astro. So we can see that there has been an increase in that.
Oh, just a correction. We haven't been tracking the Astro beforehand, so we've just got this one for the current sprint. But yeah, once we have the upcoming sprints, we'll see if how that's been tracking, whether it's been going up and down. Hopefully up, because we've been doing a lot of changes around the Astro package and ensuring that it removes its dependency on React. So hoping that gets more users working with that starter.
Yep. And the next up is the TinaCMS most popular versions based on downloads. We can see that it has continued to be version 3.7 at 19.7K, and then followed closely, slowly rising, is version 3.8 as the next top download. And I'll hand it over to Ivan to continue with the epics.
Yeah, so for the branch away media, we haven't technically moved because we've added a card, fixed it up, and then closed the card. So that gives us a net progress of 0, unfortunately. And I'm working on the last part of this to make the branch away media work properly with the editorial workflow. Once that's done, in the next couple of days, we can officially close this down and move on. That would be fantastic. We are in a similar boat with the multi-repo support epic. We have completed all the meaningful work, but now we've got the last card to create a video walkthrough the setup of this project, which Josh is doing this sprint, which will hopefully conclude the epic and allow us to move forward. We've started on the auth migration from Cognito to WorkOS. That's a spike that Kaha has done. We will continue on that this sprint to hopefully finalize the approach at least. And then we can cut up the actual work a bit later. For the identity API issues that Eli mentioned before, we have now got a proper epic that tracks the work required to hopefully get it to 0, and we've completed the first PBI out of that, which gave us a 14% increase in completion, which is good to see. For the catalog and layer, it's still technically somewhat blocked by the branch away media, so that hasn't moved. And for the expanding the test coverage for the self-hosted setup, although Jack has done a lot of work on the self-hosted, we haven't completed that particular test in PBI, so that epic has not moved. And for the Tina Cloud improved database performance, we have technically moved on that epic, but that was due to us doing a little backlog refinement session and closing off 1 or 2 cards on that are no longer necessary because of other work. That's the state of our epics. For the R&D work, Jack and Matt are still working on the Astro visual editing that's in flight. We are approaching the tail end of that. We just need to do a few reviews to make sure that everything is sweet, and then we can push it over the line and satisfy the demand, because a lot of people have asked for this. The AI tool usage, it's pretty much the same. We are noticing that Isaac and I are hitting limits again. Brooke is still hitting limits, but other than that, there is no meaningful change in what the team is using. For the Copilot stats, the main item completed was incorrect. For some reason, decided that the main item completed was moving the CLI build output to project tree, which was not the case. Main item completed probably would have been one of the epics.
Yeah, the AI
Moving on
must
from
like
that.
me or something. Because that's the one
very
thing that I
handsome.
did, but it was yeah, probably not our main item completed. Yeah, do you want to take over the screen share for the Claude
Yes,
stats?
please. For the Claude stats, we haven't got much out of that, to be fair, but it has rightfully called out that our daily active user has crossed 400 for the first time, which is great to see. Have finally announced and committed to the V4 work, and we've got Chloe on the project now, which is good. We've expanded the team, and now hopefully we'll have a bit more effort to spare for all of those epics that we now have. But that's about it. The rest of it was basically just menial comments on how the team is doing and skipping retro, or that we are potentially overcommitting to our work. So that is that. Back to Eli.
You. Right. For our retro, do you want to take us through this, Isaac?
Yep. So we call out a few things that are going really well. The astrovisual editing is coming along nicely, and there was good collaboration last week, swarming on those PRs from Josh, Ivan, and others, Matt. Another thing that we're all pretty happy with is Michaela's PBI for media management is finally complete. So she's gone and tested it. She's happy with it. This has kind of taken some time and been a lot of work, but that UX is finally good. So we're all happy about that. Ivan mentioned that self-hosted stuff is going to be working nicely again pretty soon. There's been a few problems with it. Kaha and Eli mentioned the move to WorkOS there's been some investigation that's going well, and everyone's excited that V4 work is being started, so the epic is being carted up at the moment. There's 2 things that we mentioned that didn't go so well. We've got a massive team at the moment, but this is such a small sprint review. There's only 4 of us here. So there's 4 other members who couldn't make it for various reasons. Well, 5 if you include Chloe. So it'd be good to think about what we can do to make it more accessible. And also the website demos are a bit out of date, and I'm probably going to look over that over the next week. So there's one improvement that was brought up, and that is having backlog refinements as a separate meeting before the sprint review to make this meetings flow a little bit smoother. So that's it for the retro. I'll pass it back to you, Eli.
Sweet. All right, moving on to the 108 forecast. So for our sprint goals or sprint goal, it is just a swarm on the Astro visual editing. We can see metrics show lots of people wanting to use Astro. the V4 discussions somehow started talking about how people want Astro. So let's just jump on that, get it done, and we should see a huge improvement with people using the Astro template or just Astro in general. I'll just update these attendees, but which I'll do after. But for our backlog, yeah, it's just around the Astro stuff. So you can see the Astro visual editing docs need to be done, as well as the migrate from the for the Astro starter to React-free visual editing, and also this one around a quick bug around the header warning being generated on every being pre-rendered during every build. And that should be us for our main focus on the forecast for the next sprint. AI stats. So it said that our main item is to reduce content API 500 errors, which I would love to do, but it is not our main item to work on. Again, this is an item that I'm working on. I'm starting to think that AI just likes me. But no, this isn't our main item, so we'll say it is incorrect for this AI overview, whatever it's called. All right. So, thank you all for attending. This meeting will be uploaded to the TinaCMS YouTube channel under the Sprint Summaries playlist. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.